You are now about to witness the awesome, crushing might of Eugene S. Robinson show. Stomper! Welcome, my friends, to a show that seemingly never ends. Bob Riley singing us in, as he has every week since 2007. The song is Intro All of Nothing. The band is Stigmata. The record is The Calling of the Just, still available from Revelation Records in Huntington Beach, California. When they hit your car with a hammer, they run your mayor pro tem out of town on a rail. Oh, sorry, wait. You shoot your death at a nightclub. And run your mayor pro tem out of town on a rail to open up a substandard restaurant in Central Florida that will inevitably fail. Right now, though, Bob, listen carefully. Or very well, brethren.
I'm on my way back nowhere. I took my time but I could not seem to play.
I'm taking it real good, you'll see. God's taking it real good, I can't fix.
I'm on my way back there,
Carry back until always nothing.
All right. Okay, I'm being heard now. All right. Well, this is not going to be, I don't know. The song I heard was Intro All of Nothing. That was a song I heard. Yeah, June is right. We should have done a test run. But that's not the style, the brand, or the spirit of the show. You try it, and if it works, you fly or you die. So as long as you can hear me, we're flying. We're not dying. Let's go ahead and get to the show because it's now fucking, I don't know how long we got. Oh, that's what's different about this version. I have no counter, no timer on the show. So I guess I'll just go on forever and ever as the case may be. All right, good. Okay, so 3, 7. 7, 9. You just robbed the showstopper. So, hey, Mr. Robinson, where you been, Mr. Robinson? Well, as luck would have it, last week, as many of you may have known, I had to fly to Birmingham, England, the home of Black Sabbath, and play a show at the Supersonic Festival, which this year was beset by difficulties. And I say beset, but one of the difficulties was like somebody, apparently I had missed this since I've played Supersonic from their first one to this one. Apparently a couple of years ago, somebody brought a bomb into the festival. So that's not why there are problems this year, but you can't get any more serious than bombs at your fucking festival. So in this instance, though, what happened is they have a big food pavilion and they had it super organized. So it flowed from the food pavilion to the merch table. And so you could do, somebody, whoever the building owner is, came and said, nah, we changed our minds. like a week before, you can't do it, you can't have it, we don't want you to have it or do it, right? So you see what happens here is exactly what's happening in San Francisco, that happens in any city, happens in Seattle, that has a scintilla of cool connected to it, right? Developers go, that's a cool up and coming area. Fucking, we could build some condos in there and sell them triple the price for, these young tech types. And so they buy Birmingham, and nobody from Birmingham will be upset when I say this. It was a shithole for years. It's been a shithole. That's why it generated Black Sabbath, right? A former shipping town, falling on hard times. Not a lot there. Cranes every 20 fucking yards now. They're building up these buildings. And part of what makes Birmingham so cool, part of this Black Sabbath tribute was kicked in by the earnest efforts of Lisa Meyer, who with Jenny, put together Supersonic years ago. And they single-handedly made Birmingham pretty cool. Right? There's a Black Sabbath bridge, and we went to the Black Sabbath bridge and took a photo there in front, with each of us standing in front of our Black Sabbath corollary. Of course, I'm standing in front of the dead guy because Ozzy's dead, and I'm the singer, he's the singer. And it was interesting. A guy said to me, and I won't tell you who he is because he doesn't know who he goes, Eugene, when they had the Black Sabbath thing on TV, I mean, I couldn't look away. I was obsessed with it. Couldn't look away. And he goes, but here, and he's talking about the bridge. He goes, I feel nothing. I feel nothing. That's neither here nor there. That's an aside. The primary issue is that these neighborhoods become cool. Developers go, oh shit, we could make a pretty penny here. And they build all these expensive condos. The people who move into the expensive condos move because they want to be close to the warming heat of cool. And then they discover that it's gone or dead. Hey man, this neighborhood used to be swinging. What happened? You happened. You and your desire to be with it fucking happened. Right? In San Francisco, right across from the club called the Bottom of the Hill, it used to be motorcycle warehouses, motorcycle shops, warehouses, and like Mark Pauline had his place. It was like nothing was there. It was like business up until 6 o'clock. Those guys all went home and then load in for Bottom of the Hill. People could hang out on the sidewalk, drink, and now they're building these design within reach. There's expensive condos up around there. You think those people are going to be happy with live music after fucking 10 o'clock? No, they are not. And I would almost have sympathy for people who pay $3 million for a fucking condo, except for the fact that they're just like the people. They're a variation of the people who move close to airports and then begin complaining about the airport noise. You knew that was one of the attractive features to the neighborhood. You move there and now you're trying to destroy it. So there were problems with Supersonic this year, but our show, it was largely a cult to the world, but it was great. It was great. From top to bottom, it was great. And Buñuel played super well. Which is good for me. The leg held out. I started lifting weights again. I was told I could lift weights August 1st. I missed that by about 5 days, but I had at least, I don't know, 8 workouts under my, why am I telling you this? Because I'm a vain man. I'm a vain man, and I don't go into any show where I start taking off articles of clothing. I don't go into any show where I'm taking off it, like slacking it, like not getting ready for the show. But this tour, these shows since April 26th have been a lot of that. So one woman wrote me once and was like, and she just dressed me down. She gave me a savage dressing down. Like she didn't dig at all. I think she'd seen us play in Texas. She didn't dig at all any stage of unclothedness on my part and began critiquing my body from top to bottom. Which whatever. I'm a vain man, so I'm already there ahead of you. I need to do some more abs. No, so I've been now belong to a gym here in Spain. Not a jiu-jitsu gym yet because I can't do that again until October. But it seemed to be fitting well. You could see people look. It's like, hey, that guy is something. The first thing the guy did was to take me into the MMA room. There's an MMA room at the gym. But then, of course, I'm looking at the signs in Spanish and I read, does that sign say, well, I know what it says. I could read it. No combat at all in this cage. He's like, no, you can't. I go, yeah, it's a cage. Well, he goes, it's just for the bags. So there's there's an uppercut bag or a knee bag. There's speed bags and I'm not going to do it. And there's a floor. That's where I'm doing my stretching. Actually doing stretching now. And I have to say, 2 workouts under the belt, the stretching seems to be fucking working. Because I got weird aches and pains, they're gone. So, but I'm lifting weights, nothing like what I used to do at the steroid height. But, good enough so when I go in October, I'm going to be a problem. So there's that. So we play Supersonic. The show is great. We do really well. Kind of, I suspect that the guy doing the stage sound is turning down my monitor wedge bit by bit because I go into Sunday, the show in London. Oh, nice. The timer showed up. I go into the show in London with my voice kind of wrecked. And of course, the guy in London, I'm during the show. I'm looking, I can't get any sound out of it. And he's on his phone. So I couldn't talk. Even if I had said by one day, if you hear me on If the Shoes Fit, my voice was thrashed. Better now, but still. So Supersonic. So things of note. Supersonic. Which club Satan or which Satan club or so these Norwegian or Scandinavian women. It was interesting. They had outfits that essentially they took a razor blade and cut out the fabric around the titties. So in the backstage, we had our own backstage area, and then we had a shared backstage area. In the shared backstage area, they're walking around with their titties out. But they have this look that's really interesting to me. They have this look like it's like a part challenge. They're supposed to be witches. Part challenge, like, yeah, we're naked. He's going to get you, right? And I just have to, I remember something Albini once said to me, and Albini said he was talking shit. He found out that I worked in porno, and he was kind of talking shit about porno. And I said, well, I can't believe that you're not digging on porno. It's not to dig on for me, it's work, but don't tell me you haven't. Why? He goes, no, traditionally, he goes, I've never been into porno. I go, really? What? You fucking, when I was 15, he goes, yeah, well, when then? But he goes, now, let me tell you what I find sexy, Eugene. I go, what's that? He goes, a hand on my cock. And largely, when he told me that, it was when Oxbow had recorded Serenade in Red. I was maybe too young to hear it and understand it at that point in time. But now, at this point, backstage at Supersonic with the titties hanging out, I'm like, hey, you know what? I knew you had those before you showed them to me. All right? All this shit they like get. Now, I say that, but then there was that porn star Olivia from the 1990s, was a friend of mine. Anytime I went by her house in San Fernando Valley, she'd open the door naked, well, maybe topless. And in my head, I was cool guy. Well, no, out and out, I was on the surface, I was cool guy. I go, oh, hey, it's just a neighborhood, figure I stop by, But inside, I was like, even though I really don't like big fake titties, and there she was with the big fake titties, it was reflexive. It was reflexive. I had a guy look over. I went to some like DMV. And the woman who was taking care of me was like 79 years old. And she bends over and her top kind of falls so you can see down her. So I'm looking down her shirt and I look up to say, oh shit, I'm looking down her shirt, see if anybody's looking at me. And there's a guy on the other side of the table and he's like as old as I was. And we just looked at each other like, So what could you, but now at this point, I'm getting this kind of like sassy look from some 25-year-old chick with her tits out. It's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. Just could you, I said, actually, I think I said this. I go, could you get out of the way so I could get to the baked goods? there was a baked goods on the table, and every time I tried to get there, like they're standing there asking me about the show we just played. So I got my soaking wet clothes in one hand, and I'm just trying to get to the baked good. Oh, they had some good cakes there. Good cake. You realize I haven't had a fig Newton since I've been in Spain. They don't have fig Newtons here. Everybody says, oh, they have corollaries, or you can buy figs. It's like, fuck you, you fucking joy kill. If I wanted a fucking fig, I could get a fig. That I can get. I want the fig Newton with the cookie cut around it. That's what I want. Can't get it here. Look, I could order it, but I tried to send a pack of 2 fig Newtons to a friend in Mexico City. They rejected them. They wouldn't let them in. But you know what? I go through periods of intense that and Little Debbie's spin wheels. But if I'm not taking it, it's like heroin. I'm fine not taking it. But if I'm taking it and looking for it, I gotta find it. The fact that it's hard to find here, I'm probably better off, right? So that was a point of interest. And then they played their asses off. They played, and at one point, one of the conversations I had with the woman was about the stage. It was a 4-foot stage, right? Down into the pit. Security and photographers in the pit, security fence, and then the audience. And I'm thinking there's no way for me to, and this is key, with dignity, get off this stage, get into the audience, get back on the stage with dignity. Nah, there's no way to pull it off. So when she plays, she's gonna show Grandpa something. She goes down into the pit. Now, she goes down to the pit and somebody helps her, which is a kind of 2-step without even thinking about it that you're used to seeing and you're comfortable seeing, right? If I did it, somebody might have reached out for my hand to steady with my leg all fucked up. They might have done that and it would have been dignified, but they never would have done it. I'm not complaining. I'm just noting. So she gets down there and then she realizes it's inadequate. One of the reasons it's inadequate is because outside the front row, unless they have cameras on you and videotape you, nobody can see you. You disappear, which I think she sort of realized at a certain point. So then she climbs up on the security fence and starts crowd surfing, David Yao-esque, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I say, oh, fuck, because I know men are pieces of shit. And I've been seeing women in pits forever. And I've knocked out guys forever who decide to get a little handsy. So they're holding her up. They're holding her up and passing her along. And I'm watching like I don't intend to do anything. I'm too far away to do anything. But I'm just wondering if anybody's going to try to, touchy-feely. She's got a G-string on, the titties out, and, she's singing. She's screaming into the mic. And they're passing her hand over hand. And she goes about 8 to 15 rows deep. And people are passing. No.
Let's do it.
Anyway, this is version 379 of the Eugene S Show Stomper. Thanks. The kids in another room so I can maybe scream a little bit. We'll see you next week. But look what you made me do! Don't die.
Thanks for joining us this week for yet another episode of the Show Stomper podcast, featuring your host, Eugene S. Robinson. Be sure to follow Eugene's weekly newsletter, which is a soaring hit at eugenesrobinson.substack.com. If you're still on Twitter, he's at Eugene S. Robinson. While you're at it, follow him on Insta at Mr. Sleep 3. That's the number 3. For more episodes of the show that seemingly never ends, go to showstomper.substack.com and become a subscriber today. Eventually, it will house all the Knuckle Up archives we can locate. We already have all the jujitsu breakdowns for free. Check out Eugene on the Bad Boss Brief podcast every other Wednesday morning, as well as the If the Shoes Fit podcast. Pick up his memoir, A Walk Across Dirty Water and Straight into Murderer's Row today, and be sure to leave him a much appreciated honest Amazon review.
Hey, are you still there? I'm here too. This is me, June M. Williams, Eugene's producer.
I've been helping Eugene produce the show Stomper since 2015. I provide Eugene with videography, original show graphics, motion graphics, show logos, podcast syndication, social media, and more. I can be reached at originals@gmail.com, spelled ORIJUNELS @gmail.com.